All right, testing. All right, testing. Okay, guys, welcome to this webinar. It's on the open source Millionaire system. So I'm going to explain what it is and how you can benefit from this system, which will allow you to become a millionaire. All right, so let's start with a new slide, which I'm going to call open source Millionaire system. Now, it might sound crazy when I talk about Millionaire system. So exactly what do I mean by an open source Millionaire system? If you're familiar with Linux, which was created by Linus Torvalds when he was a student, because he wanted to make things better for himself, and so he created this Linux operating system, and it turns out that it was pretty useful to other people. So he just open sourced it, and people would contribute, and eventually, as we know, the rest is history. Linux is currently used in I think the majority of computer companies, and open source is very much thriving. So along a similar vein, I want to create a Millionaire system so that anybody, from any country in the world who has Wi-Fi can contribute to this open source Millionaire system and can benefit. So they can use this system to sell their products, their services, but it's mostly products because it's easier to scale the product, and they can make tons of money. So essentially, I say millionaire because you only need to have 1,000 customers, and you just charge them a small price of 1,000, and you would have $1 million per year in revenue. So that's the simplest way to define millionaire in this case. But of course, technically, a millionaire is someone who has a net worth of $1 million or more. So net worth means your assets minus your liabilities. But here, to keep it simple, because not everyone understands net worth and assets and liabilities, but I think everyone understands customers and everyone understands price, right? So this OMS is gonna show you how you can get 1,000 customers or more and charge them 1,000. Now, $1,000 might seem like a lot of money, but if you break it down per month, it's only $84 a month. So you can create a subscription service, or a SaaS software as a service, and you charge $84 a month, and you will have $1,000 at the end of the year. So that's an easier way to wrap your mind around, because the price of $1,000, it seems intimidating, and you need only 1,000 customers. So how is this millionaire system going to work? Well, first of all, like I said, we're going to focus on products, not services. So if you're offering a service, you could be making $1 million. Like I know a lot of lawyers who do that. But ideally, it's better to sell a product, because once you have the master product, once it's created, you can just make perfect copies, and you can make an infinite number of perfect copies. Okay, infinite number. Of course, there are restrictions if it's a physical product. For example, if you're creating an iPhone or a smartphone or a car, there are restrictions because of manufacturing, shipping, handling, etc. So we're going to focus mostly on digital product. Now, of course, you can use this millionaire system and apply it to your services or apply it to your physical products, but I'm going to be focused mostly on digital products because that is my case. That's what I'm currently selling. So I'm creating and selling ebooks, web applications, video games. I'm selling PDF ebooks, no, PDF files, not necessarily ebooks. Okay, an ebook is a book, but PDF files can be a blueprint, a mind map, anything in PDF format. I'm selling audio programs which teach people and coach people, and audio programs are good because people can listen to an MP3 a recording while they're jogging, commuting, driving, so it's very convenient for learning. And of course I'm selling videos, and these videos can be video tutorials, so these are short videos of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or they can be courses which I'm selling on teachable.com. And so I'm gonna share with you my open source Millionaire system, and hopefully you can contribute. So let's take a look at the details of this Millionaire system. And I know that you may have a lot of doubt, but hopefully I'm gonna explain to you why you should trust me, and why you should, whether or not you trust me, you should really test it out. You should really test drive it for yourself and see if what I'm saying makes sense. But as you can see, I'm live streaming on YouTube. This is live. This is not scripted. I'm talking spontaneously. And the reason why I'm doing this is that I see so many losers out there on the internet, so many poor people, like even in America, in the United States, where apparently, more than 0.5% of people don't even have $500 in their bank account. I mean, this is the richest country in the world. It has so many powerful technologies. The United States is the leader in terms of technological innovation, and yet more than 50% of people don't even have $500 in their bank account. So what's happening? It's because they're living paycheck to paycheck. There's also inflation. There's all the money printing in the US, which erodes your purchasing power. There's the rising cost of living. There are tons of conditions that make it hard for people to save money. And so one conclusion that I draw from this is that a job is not good for the long term, meaning that you will never get rich with a job. Okay, a job is excellent if you just graduated from high school or college or university. And I've had a job myself until I was 31, and after I was 31, I started so many businesses I lost count. But a job is good in the short term. You cannot create a cash flow positive business in the short term. It's very difficult unless you're selling drugs or something illegal, right? So a job is good in the short term, but it's not good in the long term. So what I say is that employees are not losing because you get a paycheck. You can't say that a paycheck is bad. A paycheck is good, right? Employees are not losing, but they are also not winning. And I think that most employees, like probably the 1 billion users on LinkedIn, they understand that they're not winning, but at least they're not losing. You're losing if you don't have a job. You're losing if you're staying at home and you're watching Netflix or you're watching TikTok videos and you're not doing anything productive in life. You're not serving other people. You're being useless. So if you don't have a job, you're losing. But if you have a job, you're not losing, but you're also not winning. So what I'm hoping to do is, with my open source Millionaire system, I want to help people to create a product. That's number one, create a digital product. And number two, I want to teach them how to market that product online so that, they can generate, hopefully, passive income. Now, in regards to passive income, it's not like you're investing in a telecom company or a bank and you're getting dividends, and the dividends are paying for your rent, your smartphone, etc. It's not passive like that. It's passive in the sense that once in a while, maybe 2 hours per week, 4 hours per week, you check your numbers and you can, adjust. So it's not 100% passive. But what I'm hoping to teach you is maybe you work only 2 to 4 hours per week, and the money is going to keep coming. You don't have to work 9 to 5. That's what I'm saying. So these are the two things that I'm hoping to help you with the Open Millionaire system. So when I say a millionaire system, it's just an easy way for people to remember that you want to make $1 million a year. But I think we agree that even if you make, not $1 million, but even if you make, I don't know, let's say 200,000 per year, I think we agree that that's pretty good. I don't think that you're going to complain because my OMS is helping you to make only like $200 a year, because you will see from the chart month to month that it's increasing, right? So you can see that maybe the first quarter you're making I don't know, 40K, and then the second quarter you're making 50K, so you're improving a little bit, and then the next quarter you're making 60K through the learning curve, which is phenomenon that simply means that you're getting better, you're generating more and more value, but the input is the same or is reduced, right? So you're making more and more revenue. So even if you make only $200,000 a year, you can see from the chart, and and we're going to provide you with Google dashboards so you can measure your sales performance. You can see right away that it's kind of obvious that the next year, the second year, it's kind of obvious you're going to make 250K, and then the next year you're going to make maybe 300K. So at some point, you're going to reach the $1 million mark. So don't stress yourself, okay? The OMS doesn't mean that in your first year you're going to be making $1 million, but you're heading in the right direction. There's no way that as an employee you're going to be able to make that kind of revenue per year. There's no way. So you have to learn business. But the reason why very few people go into business is that business is very hard. Like when you have a job, you work in your cubicle and you just do whatever the boss requires. It's kind of quiet, right? When you have a job. But when you're, in business, everybody wants to kill you. And I really mean it. Everybody wants to destroy your business. They want to offer what product you're offering, but they offer it at half price or even for free. Everybody wants to kill you. Everybody wants to kill your business. Everybody wants to steal your customers. Like even if you have a competitor that doesn't operate in the same space, but they still want to steal your customers, because your customers have a limited budget, right? So he can either spend the budget on your products or services, or the customer can spend it on the competition. So the competition can be anywhere. It can be offering any product. As soon as they're targeting the budget of your customers, you're toast. So that's why going to business is so hard, because there's competition everywhere. But when you have a job, typically, your co-workers, they're very not dangerous at all. Your co-workers are not going to steal your job. First of all, because your job is so specialized, right? But when you go into business, it's so hard. And that's the problem. But with AI coming, and AI is going to eliminate everybody's job, almost, people who have a job in an office, you basically have no choice but to go into business, okay? So let me put it very clearly here, okay? AI is coming. It will eliminate your job. It's not AI itself. So when I say, so I don't know what that was. Anyways, it's not AI that will eliminate your job. It's somebody who is using AI. So when I say it, it's a young person using AI expertly and replacing you because it's faster, better, cheaper, etc. So it's always going to be a young person in their 20s or early 30s who is going to leverage AI masterfully and that person will eliminate your job and the job of your coworkers. So what's going to happen is that going into business is not a nice to have. It's not something you want to try, and no, it's going to be a must. Okay, meaning that everybody must go into business for themselves. It's not even about getting rich. It's about paying the rent. It's about paying the mortgage. You have no choice but to go into business. But the problem, of course, like I said before, is that business is so difficult. And so the solution I'm offering is that I'm creating an open source Millionaire system, and you can use it. So what is the shape of this open source Millionaire system? It's going to be a bunch of things because I'm just starting, so I'm brainstorming in real time here. But it's going to be like Google Documents, slides, because there are things that you have to learn, so I have to provide the slides like a PowerPoint presentation. There are sheets. So this is like Excel spreadsheets where you can track your numbers, your sales, your revenue, your costs, right? So I'm going to provide all of this, so you don't have to create it. Income statement, balance sheet, etc., inventory, and then there are Google drawings, and this is where I'm going to. Actually, this is a Google drawing. This is a Google drawing because I can insert all kinds of drawing like this, to explain something to you, and it's always better when you see a diagram. Okay, so initially the open Millionaire system is gonna be a bunch of Google files like this, but over time we're gonna change. We're gonna make it better. We're gonna create a nice user interface, but right now I think that this is good enough. And the Google Docs will enable you to write comments, so anyone who is a member can comment, and I'm gonna curate the comment, and so the Google Docs will keep getting better. So here, comments enabled. So that's what the open source Millionaire system is. It's really a bunch of documents that will help you to set up your business. Now, like I said before, there are only two things that you need to do in order to succeed in business, and so let's go back to what I said before. One, you have to have a digital product, so you have to create it, and I'm going to teach you how to do that because I've been doing that for the last 20 years. And two, you have to market your product online so that you can make money. And so the Open Millionaire system will teach you how to do that. It's going to have a component. I think that we're going to create a community on WUP. WUP is a community management platform. So a WUP is basically a community, and we're going to have forums where you can ask questions, where you can write comments, suggestions. We're going to have chat. You can chat with me. You can chat with the other users of the Millionaire system. We're going to have videos. We're going to have live streams. We're going to have files that you can download, etc. So it's going to be like Facebook, but even better. It's much more powerful than Facebook because it has so many apps that will allow members to communicate and get value and download stuff and upload stuff, etc. So in a nutshell, the Open Millionaire system will give you everything that you need to become a millionaire, to be able to make $1 million per year. I don't see any obstacle to that. You might see tons of obstacles, but I guarantee you that there's no obstacle to your becoming a millionaire. Maybe not in the first year, maybe in the second year, maybe in the third year, but you will see right away that it's quite feasible. You will believe it when you begin to sell the product. And right now you might not believe it because you've never sold a product. You don't even have a product, and so you don't even believe that it's possible. It's like winning a car race, but you don't even have a car, right? So you don't believe that it's possible. But I'm hoping with the Open Millionaire system, I'm hoping to change your beliefs one at a time. So each belief that you have, it's kind of like a stepping stone, and you have to step on that stone, and then you move on to the next belief. I think that's going to be your biggest challenge or your biggest hurdle, It's internal. It's your belief system. It's not physically or objectively whether you can become a millionaire. It's really your belief system. So for example, you might have the belief that I can't create a digital product. Well, I'm going to do demonstrations to show you that anyone can create a digital product and sell it. Now, you might create a digital product, so now you're facing the next belief. I can't sell my digital product. But at least, here it's better because you have a digital product, right? Here, you don't even have one. So here you have a digital product. I don't know, maybe you composed a song, maybe you wrote a small ebook, maybe you created with Claude, a web application, maybe you use ChatGPT to create a small movie, for kids, or a video game. Maybe you created I don't know, like a video course. You have a digital product, but now you're thinking, I can't sell. Sure, I can create a digital product, but I can't sell. I'm not a good salesperson. Okay, so maybe that's another belief. I'm not good in sales. So all of these negative beliefs, I'm going to help you to overcome those beliefs. So the Open Millionaire system is not just a technical system like Linux. It's really like a community where I'm going to help you to change your beliefs. So here we're going to put these beliefs in red because, they don't belong here. You have to change your beliefs before you can be able to perceive opportunities around you. Like for example, if you put a new belief here, I'm able to learn any skill. So this is a better belief. So we're going to put that in green. So yeah, we're going to help you to change your belief system one belief at a time. And so, you're going to get to a point where, you flip these beliefs over, or you change them just a little bit. And so you're going to be well on your way to making like $1 million. So notice here that the belief is not, I'm great at sales. You have to be gentle, right? You have to modify the belief one step at a time. So here, I'm able to learn any skill. Another belief that we're going to help you with is maybe, I love getting feedback on my sales performance, right? Because you're starting out, so you need people to give you feedback, whether it's a customer or a coach or a teacher like myself. I love getting feedback. So here you're able to learn, and here you're actually learning. You're getting feedback, and the next belief could be, I love sales. I love sales because I get to help customers, because customers oftentimes they're mixed up, right? They have too many decisions to make and they're not sure of themselves. Most people are typically not self-confident. So when you're selling, you show up, you're dynamic, you show that you care, and they trust you, and you really want to help them to make the best decision for themselves. And so that's another belief that you can develop. But you're going to realize fairly quickly that, these are the beliefs of poor people. I can't I can't do this, I can't do that. But positive people, rich people, they never say I can't. They always say I'm able to learn, right? You don't know everything, but at least you're open and able to learn. You love getting feedback. This is very important. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. So if you want to become a champion in any field, you have to love feedback. And you have to love customers. You have to love helping customers. This is really an important requirement. If you don't like customers, you're not going to do very well in business. You're not going to be able to become a millionaire. So make sure that you choose customers that you love, so that you like to spend time with them. This is super, super, super important. And so I'm going to teach you all of that, but this is more like psychological training. The Open Millionaire system also has technical training, where I'm going to show you how you can use software programs like AutoHotkey, which is a free script programming language. You can learn to use Python. You learn to use Camtasia, so that you can create digital products. So let me just put them here so that you can see them. You know, you can learn how to use Camtasia, which is a video editing software for Windows. I don't know for Mac. I think I forgot the name. What is it? Is it Premiere for Mac? I don't know. If somebody is using a Mac out there, maybe you can tell me. But Camtasia costs $300, but I have a hack. I can show you how to get it for free. I'll teach you AutoHotkey, which is an automation script programming language. And you don't need to program, you know, but you just need to know what AutoHotkey is, and then ChatGPT will do the programming for you, or Claude or ChatGPT will do the program for you. Same thing with Python. It's a very powerful programming language, but Claude and ChatGPT will do the programming for you. In the Open Millionaire system, I'll have modules and I'll teach you about leadership. You have to become a leader. You have to, and becoming a leader is not hard. It's just that, you know, you're afraid, but you do it anyways. And that's the difference. Most people who are not leaders, they're afraid and they don't do anything. Leaders are afraid. They feel doubt, they feel fear, but they do it anyways, and that's the difference. So you're a leader if you do it anyways, okay? That's it. That's all it takes to become a leader. And when you do it, you oftentimes are the first to do it. So leadership very often is that you are the first to do it. Not because you're not afraid, but because what the heck, let's just do it. You know, I like the biography of Richard Branson, the well-known billionaire. And the title of his biography is Screw It, Let's Do It. You know, like he feels the fear, but he tells himself, screw it. I feel the fear, but screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it anyways. And so it's important to have this leadership mindset. And so I'm going to teach you all the computer equipment, all the software you can use. I use Speech Notes, which is a voice-to-text application on my Android phone. I also use Tape a Talk. Allows me to record myself and Tape a Talk, and you know, I can create one audio and then the day after I can continue to record myself on top of that audio. So it allows me to keep recording my voice. And here Speech Notes is a voice-to-speech application which is free. And so I have a bunch of software programs that I'm going to recommend to you, and they're all going to be part of the open source Millionaire system. So why am I doing this? Like I said, you know, I want to enrich people. I'm financially free. I don't have to work anymore, but I want to become like a billionaire. And so I think that by helping people to become a millionaire, I am getting closer to becoming a billionaire. But that's just a numerical goal. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with $1 billion, you know. But I love to help people, so that's why I'm creating this open source Millionaire system. Now, is it going to be free? That's the $1 million question. So let's address this issue, because so far I hope that I've shown you that I know enough about business, marketing, sales, etc. to create the Millionaire system. But of course, one of the first thoughts that will come to your mind, if you're like most people, is how much is it going to cost, Peter? Like, are you going to charge me an arm and a leg? Come on, I thought we were friends. So let's talk about the price. Now, I could make it free, but if I make it free, you don't take it seriously. And so you don't use it. You just download it. You just have access to all the Google documents and you forget about it. And you go back to being a loser at your job. And to me, that's really what it is. You know, for the past 25 years, I haven't been a loser. I haven't been working so hard to enrich somebody else. So I don't want people to go back to their job because they see that this Millionaire system is free and therefore it can't be that good, you know, and you don't take it seriously, and then you go back to your loser cubicle. So that's not a good proposition. Now, I could charge $50 a month, but some people will complain, even though they're going to become millionaires, but they're going to complain, oh, Peter, $50 is a little bit too much right now. I'm kind of tight, you know. So I don't know, maybe I'm going to charge $50 and you have access to all of my tools, all of my video courses, even my resellable ebooks. I'm going to talk later on about my resellable ebooks. You can buy my ebooks and resell them at any price, and you pocket 100% of the profits. So that's good. But even with resellable ebooks, people are going to complain, $50, so I don't know, maybe. But I thought, what if I charge $50 for lifetime access, meaning that you're going to be part of my email list and you're going to receive upgrades to the open source Millionaire system for life, for as long as I live, and I intend to live for the next 50 years. Now, if I'm involved in a car accident and I die, I'm sure you will forgive me for stopping the development of this Millionaire system. But as long as I live, the Millionaire system will continue to develop, because I am currently inviting my 20,945 LinkedIn connections to join and develop it. Because remember, this is a collection of Google documents, and people can provide feedback all the time, so it's going to improve. Now, why would they provide feedback? Because I'm going to give them credit for their contribution. So whatever they contribute, I'm going to attach their name and their contact information so that they can actually use the Millionaire system to generate leads. So for example, if there's one person who's providing a lot of useful content about search engine optimization, a topic that I know nothing about, then that person, will be credited, and that person might receive job offers or contracts for SEO. So that's the motivation for people to contribute. So I think that starting, the launch price could be $50 lifetime access. So people who are smart and who want to save money, they probably want this deal. And after I have, let's say, 50 people, after that, it's going to switch to $50 a month, meaning that, $50 a month, a year, times 12, which is, that's 600. Is that right? Times 12? Yeah, 600. And so you don't want to pay 600 per year. You want to pay $50 for life. So in order to have that deal, you have to be among the first 50 people to join as a user. So anyways, that's just an idea. I'm not too concerned about that, because, I don't need that money. I'm just creating the Millionaire system just for fun. But in a way, I need it, because, I want to become a billionaire by the end of 2026. So that's my goal, okay? Billionaire in Canadian dollars, of course, which is probably like, $750 million. But anyways, I want to become a billionaire by the end of 2026. So I don't have a lot of time, which is why I have to create this Millionaire system to make as many people, to turn as many people into millionaires as possible. And as long as you have a normal IQ, you have a work ethic, you're willing to learn, you're coachable, you can easily become a millionaire. And, once you become a millionaire and, dozens of people become a millionaire through my system, then, I can sell that system in so many ways, not just as a subscription, but as a consulting, as a product, as an AI agent, etc. Then I can become a billionaire. So you can see that I have a strong self-interest to make millionaires. I'm not really interested in helping people to make $80,000 a year. That's not going to help me to become a millionaire. I want to help people to make $1 million a year, because then, I can sell products and services and charge, $100K. If I can charge people $100K per year, then I'll become a billionaire. So anyway, this sounds like a lot of talk, and I understand if you feel doubt, but this is my goal, right? And to reach my goal, I just have a couple of months here. I have to create a lot of millionaires, and a system is the best way. And this system will continually improve very rapidly. It will improve almost like exponentially, because I'm going to invite 20,000 connections to provide feedback. So these people are my LinkedIn connections. They're vice presidents, they're CEOs, they're presidents, they're investors. They're very sharp people, right? And I'm going to get into a Zoom session, or I'm going to email them, etc. and they're going to provide blunt feedback, and therefore this system is going to keep improving all the time. You know, it's going to become better and better and better, and at some point it's going to be like an artificial intelligence almost. It's going to guide people, and you just do what the system tells you to do, and you're going to be very successful. So that's my goal. So guys, I'm going to end it here, but I just wanted to introduce to you the idea of this open source Millionaire system. And open source means that you can grab it, you can download it, you can sell it to anyone. You don't owe me anything, you don't owe anybody anything. Open source means that, let me just put it down here so that you know. Open source means you access it, you download it. Actually, you don't download, you make a copy to your Google Drive. You can modify it, you know, it doesn't have my name on it. You know, you modify it, you know, you put your name and logo on it. You stick a price to it. You sell it, and you, very important, you pocket 100% of the profits of the sale. So at some point, this Millionaire system is going to be so valuable that people will want it. It's a little bit like the Manus from a Chinese AI company. You know, like it's so hot. I haven't used it yet, but it's so hot that everybody wants a piece of it. So except that here, it's very different from Manus because it's an open source. So you can download it, you sell it, you put your name on it, and you can make money. And you know, that's my vision. Because if if you are making money from this Millionaire system, obviously you're going to help me to improve it, because as you improve it, you can charge more money, and so everybody wins. All the users who join as early as possible, all the users who join will be able to make money from this Millionaire system. But you got to be quick. This is one characteristic of successful people. They're very what is that? So anyways, guys, I'm going to end it here, but I just wanted to introduce the open source Millionaire system. I'm going to create more live streams to explain how it works, but I think you get the idea. Yeah, I'll talk to you more in the next live stream.